Hi guys, Mr. Giles here. Welcome to the 4th episode of my Let's Play Hearts of Iron United Kingdom series. Now, yes, that's right. We've still got boring things to do. Oops. We reorganised the Navy last time. It's time to finally confront the army. I promise, by the way, that once all this is done, I do actually speed up. I hope my computer can support 5 speed. I'm not sure if that's possible with fraps running in the background. So what I'm doing now is just completely deleting all my existing headquarters, because they're useless, really. I mean, particularly the ones in Britain often have... This corps, for instance, only has 1 division attached to it. It's not an efficient use of commanders, it's not an efficient use of officers. So we're going to get rid of this, and we're going to instate the 555 system, which is, of course, 5 divisions for 5 corps. Well, 5 divisions for a corps, 5 corps for an army, 5 armies for an army group. I won't actually be able to fully maximise that because I will need to spread my forces out somewhat. But that's what we should aspire to, is that is the most efficient chain of command. So now I'm just sort of sending everything down to Luton. Yes, I am sorry. Yeah, Luton is not a nice place, but you have to go there anyway. Because I order you to. And what I'm going to do now is actually going to explain why I'm doing this. Because the starting order of battle, as is everything when you start, is completely rubbish. It doesn't work. It doesn't maximise any of the sort of important traits or bonuses that the order of battle can give. And these are really not allowed to be laughed at. And I'm particularly referring to the traits. Because commanders, the sole reason you have an order of battle really is because of commanders. And you see they all have traits. And these traits, 100%, if at division level, commanders express 100% of their traits. So, for instance, Gort would express a 10% offence. This division would get 10% attack if I gave it Gort. But if I put Gort to the core level, then this division would actually get 50% of that trait expressed. So we'd get a plus 5 attack, and then subsequently it would be 25%. So something like 2.5% for offence for that division if I pointed him here, and finally something like 12% and then 7% for theatre level. So you have to strike a balance between expressing these cores, between expressing these traits, between leader skill and where they are in the hierarchy. Because you can either have people like Alexander, who has lots of traits at a higher level of the command chain, meaning a broader number of divisions are affected by his traits, but his traits are less prevalent. Or you can point him at a lower level so that less divisions benefit greater from his traits. And you've got to really think about balance, really. But the way they organise it at the beginning is sort of useless, by missing out points in the command chain as well. So for instance, this division attached directly to the Bombay HQ is missing out on a lot of potential benefits it can have by not being attached to that group. So what I'm now going to do now is I'm going to do what I did for everything else and recall it all back to Britain. Yes, I know I wouldn't do this in a multiplayer game. It's ridiculous, obviously. I'm appointing some logistics wizards to theatre levels because I find these are the sort of best commanders to have. Because as far as I'm aware, leader skill does not affect... does actually not affect their sort of the traits and the sort of skill and bonuses of things in the hierarchy. So you can have a pretty crappy commander. We could have Barkworth Wright, for instance, at the theatre level of the home command, and his trait would still be expressed, but I'm not sure what the effect of the skill is. I have a feeling that by having more skilled leaders at the higher levels of the command chain, you actually it actually gives a bonus to what's it called, to stacking penalties. So you actually incur less stacking penalty with good commanders at army group and theatre level HQs. But I don't know the exact stats for that, so I wouldn't hold me to that. I think it is true, but then I think everything is true, so not really. Religion, haha. Yeah, so what am I doing now? Well, I'm sending some subs down to Malta and things to intercept some Italian convoys when the time comes around to it. So what have we got here? We have 26 brigades. What I'd like to do is I'd like to incorporate these into corps, but I have a feeling as long as they're all triangle infantry brigades, I don't mind. Like this one, for instance, they have 3 infantry brigades per division. That's okay. I would like them to have an artillery division as well, but artillery brigade even as well. But that I don't have the IC to build that at the moment. There is something I find quite funny about this. Britain has the 1st Guards Rifle Infantry Brigade in its order of battle, which seems a little bit out of place because Guards Rifle was actually sort of a term that the USSR developed in the Great Patriotic War. I'm hoping that's referring to the Household Guard, but I'm not really sure. It'd be sucks if it doesn't. The reason you want triangle infantry as the basis of your infantry brigades is the infantry division. So I'm getting all these terms mixed up. You know, I've been speaking for a long time today, I'll blame that. And the reason for that is that Italy, obviously the powerhouse of the world, has, as a standard division, uses 2 brigade infantries, which is just useless really. It doesn't help at all. It's really just a bit crap. They don't have enough strength, they don't have enough org to stand up to British divisions, they don't have enough frontage, so they're just rubbish. They can't stand up to it at all. You can use 2 Inf 2 Arch, that does work. That is quite a good division. It has a very good defence bonus, it has a very good attack bonus. Slightly higher casualties than usual on bad terrain, so it would be wary using that as Germany, because of course the USSR is essentially nothing but bad terrain. However, since the new patch, the terrain in the USSR doesn't look quite as bad as normal. I mean, the Dnieper marshes look quite bad. They look bigger than normal, but actually there seems to be less forest. Oh, I was about to say there's less forest, then I looked in the north and there's just nothing but forest. So it might work better. I mean, I don't know actually. We'll have to see how things pan out on the new map. Be quite interesting. Quite interesting, that is, if you have OCD. Italy still fighting in Ethiopia. Come on, Ethiopia. I reckon they're going to win. They win every time I've seen them. Okay, we got some ships. Yay! Got to find some ships. I've got quite snazzy with shortcuts, by the way. Now, I'll run through some shortcuts at some point, by the way. If you want to load something quickly onto a fleet, if you just press L, that works. Or P if it's a transport plane, that works good. Similarly, R, A and D are reorganised, attach and detach, and they are also quite helpful when you do stuff like this. So I can just press D for the division in Rangoon, for instance, and just detaches, and A again to attach it to the Bombay HQ. It works well, I like that. Oh, rare materials. I'll have those, thank you very much. Oh, guess what's happening today? Yes, it's right, it's starting at long last. I've been waiting far too long. Wimbledon is starting. I'm so excited. I am absolutely ecstatic today. I can't believe that Wimbledon is finally here. Oh yes, it's brilliant. I've been looking forward to it so long, and it's finally here. And it's about time that Federer won it, because he's such a good tennis player, and well, he's the best tennis player in all history, so he better damn win it. I really want him to, as you probably gathered. But I suppose most people don't like tennis, so for those that don't like tennis, I'll just mention that Britain didn't do very well in the football yesterday. Well, England didn't do very well in the football. I hate it the way that it's England, Scotland and Wales in football and not the United Kingdom, because the United Kingdom is the country. England is not a country, Scotland isn't a country, Ireland isn't a country. Well, Ireland, the Republic of Ireland is a country, but Northern Ireland isn't. So I don't see why we have to have independent teams. Promotes devolution. Very bad. Now they seem to have nerfed the shift order. I can't. Does it still work? Oh, good. Doesn't matter. Sorry, just ignore my rambling for a bit. I'm not really sure what to do today. I want to get this reorganisation done. I might actually do this off recording, simply because this is a much bigger task. Reorganising the army is a far bigger task than it is reorganising the navy and reorganising the air force. It takes longer, but if you want me to do, or actually I will record this. You know, I promised I would record everything. I'll do everything on camera, but I'll put a bookmark in or something for when I'm done. I'll just let you know, so you can get all the boring stuff out of the way. Unless you have OCD and you find this thrilling, in which case you're fully entitled to watch all of it. Now, I'm going to outline my general strategy right now. My strategy for the army is that Britain does not have the IC or the strategic focus to invest heavily on in the army, because it needs to invest in the navy, it needs to invest in the air force as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have reserves in Britain and in Egypt, maybe 1 corps in Egypt, 2 corps in Britain, and sort of some random divisions scattered around Malaya. And I forget about Ethiopia every bloody time. Yes, and the reason I'm going to do this is because I'd like to have a sort of flying army. Flying army sort of being a very gamey term for something, which means that an army which I can sort of use with a lot of mobility. I can use it worldwide. I can sort of transport it places, and I'll fight people when I can, not when I have to, if that makes sense. So rather than having to always think, oh god, millions of divisions here, I'll have to defeat all of those. You know, I'll think, you know, what can I afford to give up? Sorry about this.